Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone, wonderful people of the universe. Hello and welcome. Or hello, you get welcome me. Welcome me. You got here before me, so there you go. Hi. Hi. This is so for people who are watching this video, this is Emotions for Dummies. Emotions for Dummies, and I am the host of Emotions for Dummies, Dr. Donnie. And I am a associate professor in sociology at CSU East Bay, and I do social emotional learning, or helping people with learn about their thoughts and feelings. I have in these classes, I put together a workbook called the Book of You, which I will share with everyone. And from those classes, from that workbook is what I'm using to put together these Emotions for Dummies classes. And there is a beginner's Emotions for Dummies class, an intermediate Emotions for Dummies class, and a advanced Emotions for Dummies class. We are now, I believe, in week 3 of the advanced Emotions for Dummies class. Okay, and so I always like to start class by asking, how are you feeling? Someone asked me, so here we go. How am I feeling? One, I just want to say thanks for asking. I appreciate that. How am I feeling today? You know, I had a client earlier today who asked me that question. I unloaded. I kind of, yeah, okay. How am I feeling today? My back is really hurting. My back hurts. My back's been hurting now for like a week because I started working out again and I pulled something and it hurts. It hurts. So I've been slowly letting it heal. But I got to come to work and actually, no, I don't got to come to work. No, I don't. No, I don't. I keep coming to work. I'm going to take responsibility there. I keep coming to work, and then my back starts to get into more pain. So by the end of the day, I'm just hurting a bit. So I was again this morning. I was kind of springy, but now I'm hurting. I'm hurting. So that's where I'm at today. So I'm giving myself a lot of patience and compassion. Also, I decided this week I couldn't take it anymore with the back pain, so I decided to practice some self-care, and I bought myself a shiatsu back massager. This is a lovely thing right here. So that way I can just use this. That's going to help me get through all this sitting in a chair I have to do. I thought that was very loving and kind to myself. But to be honest with you, I wish I could just stay in bed. I wish I could stay in bed. Thank you. Yay, glad to see you're doing self-care. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, when I bought this, I have to say I had a moment of like, what the hell have I been doing? Why didn't I think of this like I could have thought of this a long time ago. So yeah, that self-care thing really is important. It's so easy to forget self-care. We don't live in a culture that actually values self-care. We live in a culture that's all about work and consuming stuff. Some of that consuming stuff can be self-care, but a lot of it ain't. And even if it was, a lot of it isn't healthy self-care. Like this back massager was a pretty good thing to buy, but it took me so long to buy it. And yet, I could easily name $80 worth of fast food and marijuana and alcohol and other things I purchased, videos I've purchased that wasn't really good for my self-care nearly as much as this back massager was. So anyway, we live in a culture that does not value when we talk about self-care a lot now. But a lot of that talk is bullshit if you don't back it up with really letting people practice what's right for them, right? Like I still feel like I have a hard time with calling in sick, or I got a hard time with calling in sick. I'll just push and push and push myself, And I know a lot of us who struggle with that. So, that being said, how are you? How are you, Antoinette? And anyone else who's here, welcome, 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 welcome. I like to start class by saying, how are you feeling? And just make space to listen. And you're welcome to type or speak or not say anything at all. It's whatever works for you. Okay, whatever you're comfortable with. I just want to make space just to know everybody in the room is validated. Validated. So, how are you feeling? In case no one asked you today, how are you feeling? Good. Good. That's good. That is good. Good, good, good. I'm just gonna ask, if you couldn't call it good, what else would it be? Because good can mean anything, You had some French fries earlier, good. You didn't get bitten by a dog today, good. So I don't know what good really means, It's kind of let's see if we can get a little bit more descriptive there. What good? What kind of good are you talking about today? If you'd like to elaborate. And anyone else, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Relatively, not a very relatively not a very bad day. Relatively not a very bad day. Okay. Okay. That's a complex answer there, really. You really sit with each one of those words. Relatively, relatively, as opposed to absolutely, right? But relatively, not a very bad day. Not a very bad day. Relatively, not a very bad day. Okay, and let's just be with your feelings. Just, often we just kind of shoot them out. I'm fine. I'm good. Fine. Okay, well, let's go a little deeper. Just breathe into whatever feelings you're having. If it's relatively not a very bad day, breathe, slow it all down. Just go inside, spend a little time with your heart. Just maybe scan your head, your heart, your shoulders, scan your stomach, scan your legs, go inside, and just see what relatively not a very bad day feels like for you. Just get in touch. Get in touch with your feelings. I said I was having back pain, right? So let's take a moment and let yourself really feel the pain you're feeling. You've been putting up with it all this time. Really honor. Jesus. Oh. Ouch. Really honor the feeling you're having. Ooh. Really honor the feeling you're having. Ooh. Really honor the feeling you're having. Especially if you're in pain, let yourself feel your pain. Somebody's got to feel through your pain and help you heal. It's going to be you, right? It isn't going to go away just because you ignore it. So if it hurts, it's an opportunity to give yourself some compassion. When we let ourselves feel our feelings, we're demonstrating to ourselves we can show ourselves compassion, right? We're not going to sit here and let someone else tell us the thing we need to hear to make ourselves feel better. We can find it within ourselves to make ourselves feel better. That's a real sign of some emotional maturity, right? That's the ideal the ideal goal. Okay. Okay. Oh, I wanted to tell you all this. So what I did was, as you can see, there's all these links here. if this interests you in any way to give a couple of bucks to further the work, there's some sites here to donate. I am working on putting this workbook into an app so that way everybody can get easy access to it. The link is here. There's a version in Spanish. I'm also currently working on a version in Chinese as well. And my email addresses, this is the link to the class you're in right now. But if you're interested in previous classes, the YouTube, I have a YouTube channel that has all the previous classes right here and a whole link there. So you can just click on that and watch any of the previous classes so you can see previous things that have happened and get an idea what the class is about. And if it's 2 a.m. in the morning and you can't sleep, you can put this on and watch me do the body scan, and you can just enjoy that. Okay, it's really been helping me out a lot, actually. Okay, and today we are doing. Actually, you get an option. You get an option today. You get a couple of options today. Okay, so we can either do one of three things today. One is we can talk about grief, which is number 15 here. 2, we can talk about beliefs, how to deconstruct beliefs. Or 3, we can do what's called story-based strategy, which is on taking the stories we tell about ourselves and turning them around, finding ways to empower ourselves through alter our stories so we can find more empowerment. Okay, so grief, deconstructing beliefs, or story-based strategy. Anybody got a specific interest they like to go into today? If nobody says anything, I'll pick one myself, but I want to just open it up for anyone else. If any one of those things specifically speaks to you today and whatever you're dealing with in terms of your feelings. Not a moment. Not a moment. Not a moment. Okay, no preference. No preference. Jackie, you got any preferences?
No, this is my first time to this kind of thing, so I'm not sure. I just go along with what you want to teach.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. And a big part of the class is, since it's your first time, a big part of the class is making the space available for any issues people have. So if anything's really bugging you today and you got a hard time working through something, by all means, let us know, and then we'll see if I can find something that will help, okay? But since I'm hearing you don't really have anything that big a deal going on today, let's see. Why don't let's do they're all wonderful. Let's do this beliefs one. I think we'll get a good kick out of that. Beliefs really are the essence that's underneath every story anyway, right? We all have beliefs, right? And a belief can be something really big, like my belief in God, but it's also little things like, little things. Well, if I said something like the justice system should work fairly for people, that is also a belief, right? If I said my order should come out the way I ordered it on time, that's also a belief, I'm trying to get a degree. I'm trying to graduate. I have to graduate by spring. That's a common thing that's said around here. That's also a belief. That's a belief. I should get a good job when this is over. That's a belief. Right? So we live in a world full of beliefs, right? We think we live in a world, but actually we live in a mental world full of beliefs. Okay, so that's why I wrote this worksheet. And then in the process of writing this, it was actually really, I learned a lot. So let's take a read. So if you feel like reading along, then if you feel like reading along, then feel free. And if you don't feel like reading along, this whole class is about relaxing so you can get in touch with your feelings, right? So feel free to just take a deep breath, to lay down, close your eyes, and just hear the sound of my voice. You can always access this stuff later. And then you can let all these words bypass the brain and go into your heart. Okay, that's where all this needs to go. So, some of this material comes from a woman. Her name's Byron Katie, in case you don't know who that is. Someone who has a YouTube channel called Always in the Now, posts a bunch of Byron Katie old videos. Okay, so there's one called Santa Fe Weekend, and that's where I got some of this material. Then there's the book I Don't Want to, I Don't Feel Like It, How Resistance Controls Your Life and What to Do About It, by Sherry Huber and A. Narayanan, who are spiritual people in Southern California. And then there's a bit here from the Tao Te Ching, which is the ancient Buddhist text, translated by Stephen Mitchell, who is Byron Katie's husband. Okay. The ancient Buddhist text was written by Lao Tzu, translated by Stephen Mitchell. Okay, so I'm going to say God in this a bunch of times, but feel free to exchange the word God for any other terms that work for you. That work for you, not works for you. Get that S out of there. There we go. Okay. While all religions preach a universal truth called God, Muhammad, the universe, Tao, love, higher consciousness, etc., in our everyday lives, our everyday religion is the beliefs we place onto everything. Beliefs we give so much meaning, we begin to see them as who we are, or how the world works, or what is just true about life. However, strong beliefs are not reality. A belief is just a thought that you have put on repeat so often you insist its meaning must be true, provable, and universal, which strengthens a mental pathway that blocks out or fights things that run counter to the belief. Since the human mind can't perceive actual reality, only the meanings we give to thoughts and feelings, and that's something to take in for a second there. The human mind can't perceive actual reality. We only perceive the meanings we give to thoughts and feelings. Okay. And our entire sense of reality is all of our beliefs. Without a belief about classrooms, this might be called space. But without a belief about space, then this is called... If I couldn't call this piece of paper in my hand paper, it would be... In fact, if you drop all the meanings, everything you are thinking, life is just... So most of life is air moving and ambient noise. So, beyond belief, reality is both nameless and all-inclusive. Reality is nothing, no thing. It's just what is. Our strong beliefs about ourselves and the world often come from our childhood socialization. As we are socialized in childhood, our ability to think crystallizes into learning meanings, beliefs, and concepts. From our beliefs, we shape judgments, or an ability to compare and evaluate, and then identifying with those judgments becomes our personality and worldview. Once our mind shapes our sense of reality, our feelings kick in so that we can act to protect our boundaries, or think, feel, act. For example, it turns out that shame is related to our beliefs. When we acknowledge our faults, limitations, humanness, shame is actually healthy. When we feel the need to lie and hide our true self, shame becomes toxic. All our stressful beliefs come from the 5 frustrations of life: our assumptions, preferences, attachments, comparisons, and control. We get so caught up in our thinking, we'd rather blame others or reality when things don't work out. However, being willing to question beliefs is the only way we can allow ourselves to stop filling our ego with confusing, contradictory thoughts and allow it to support our heart, inner child, in a healthy way. Some of our strongest ego beliefs are about our identity. I think, therefore I am. However, if beliefs are thoughts and thoughts are not real, then our ego identity is not real either. It's just the byproduct, coping mechanism of our socialization and thought patterns. Beliefs give the ego a false sense of realness, like in "the emperor has no clothes." So to keep that power, we use the 5 frustrations of life to make everything about ourselves. Once we believe it's about us, we have no choice but to judge, react from that position, even if it confuses us or feels bad. Each judgment is a post-it note or memo, literally a memo, that creates the ego's sense of world reality. So it is guaranteed that it will resist change, maturity, and do the opposite of what is best for us. Because to do otherwise would mean releasing the control. This is why we can't just fix ourselves. That is ego fixing ego. Or why the biggest belief worth questioning is if there is even an I or a you in the first place. Beyond belief, beyond the memos, who we are, who anyone is nothingness. No thing, no thinking, or infinite possibility, like the space in a bowl or the hole in a doorway or window. No more inner outer arguments or stress, just being present with life as it is, a living state of total rest and peace, like Jesus, or one of no attachment, repression, judgment, or meanings, just love and innocence like a child. Byron Katie often says that another word for reality is God itself, because both are what is and beyond our ability to comprehend with beliefs. In fact, beliefs only get in the way of the real experience of reality, God itself. Beyond belief, God can only be a symbol which represents both everything and nothing at the same time. Omnipotent, an all-encompassing meaning or oneness. Connecting this to childhood socialization, if our parents shape our sense of the universe, and a negative parental relationship means a negative belief in the universe, then we can expand this to say all of our negative beliefs about life are ultimately distorted meanings about our connection to this oneness, our Heavenly Father, if you happen to be Catholic. We abuse our ego by using beliefs to separate from and act as God. which is the original sin, if you happen to have read the Bible. Impossible, shameful, and hopeless. Arguing with people's beliefs is exactly like arguing with the rain. It won't help manage your feelings, and that oneness isn't going to change at all. If God itself is beyond belief, and beliefs are repressive, then perhaps we shouldn't have any beliefs at all. According to this logic, by giving up beliefs altogether, you are free, living God's purpose for you by just being fully open to the present moment. Or as Miss BK says, only the ego speaks, and nothing it says is true. So therefore, a mind is a wonderful thing to lose. We like to praise God when we get what we want, but often wonder, why does God allow bad things to happen? If winning a Grammy is God's will, then so must be all the poverty, violence, and other injustices. If God is everything, then the higher power must always hear us and give us what we want. It just may never come the way we wanted it, have the effect we wanted it to have, and it may come with all sorts of unexpected consequences. And this is so because of the role that our negative beliefs or judgments play in directing our lives. Being consciously critical can help make you a great student or professor. But since our reality is our thoughts, and the mind is 80% unconscious, this makes judgment a very powerful tool that actually turns you into the thing you judge. If I judge you as mean or hurtful, I become resentful and hurt me. If I judge myself as not good enough, the mind will find all the reasons why I am right, feel bad, won't try in life, and then won't be good enough. One way to see the effect of our negative beliefs is to examine our anger, hurt, and fear through our complaining and defensive behaviors. This shows us how our resentments, regrets, and other unconscious commitments cause confusion in our lives. Ultimately, whatever awful thing happened, awful is a judgment. Without being able to call it awful, its meaning would just be horrible. Horrible. And if I couldn't call it horrible, its meaning would be bad, wrong. If I couldn't call it wrong, it would be bad. And if I couldn't call it bad, it would be don't like it, something I don't like. And if I couldn't call it that, it would be unpleasant. And if I couldn't call it unpleasant, it would be like back to something I don't like. Back to something I don't like, okay. And if I couldn't call it something I don't like, it would be something. It would just be something. It would just be a thing. And if I couldn't call it a thing, it would be and frankly, if I couldn't call it anything and I could just sit in silence, I took something from awful all the way to silence. So frankly, that is awesome. Okay, and this is why awful can mean both bad and inspiring. If we open our minds to the good or the God of the situation, we can use even the bitter, sour lemons of life as potential for sweet lemonade. All of this might sound really out there, but what is clear is that if we unlearn by deconstructing our beliefs, we can live more in harmony with the world the way things are instead of fighting about how they should be. And if all this is true, then dropping all our I know judgments and moving to a permanent don't know open-mindedness is the quickest way to fall in love with life, free ourselves from codependent thinking, and strengthen our faith. A don't know mind is the demonstration of totally healthy shame, because a person who realizes the limitations of all their beliefs can only live in present moment reality, or this here now, or literally follow in the steps of God. Whatever happens in life, we all have a holy trinity of questioning thoughts, space to feel our feelings, and time to rest in our self-care toolkit. Or God, Son, Holy Spirit equals thoughts, feelings, rest. If you happen to be Catholic. I wrote a lot of this. I'm a Buddhist, but I was raised Catholic, so I use this as an opportunity to blend all that stuff together. This exercise will help you deconstruct any beliefs you are holding by finding their opposite or making positive affirmations. Louise Hay is a person you can look up who is really good at this. Particularly focus on any beliefs you have held from childhood to today. Also, no belief is too simple. Even the sky is blue is worth questioning and feeling through. Finding your internal truth may not be what the world would say is true, and it may or may not change what you do in life. But inquiring will help build a healthier belief system. That is, one more in line with reality. Okay, that's some interesting stuff going on there. Okay, so here we go. So anyone, what's a behavior that's bothering you? Over here, I've got what I call the gripes list, my complaining list. I'm just going to make a list of the things I still complain about all the time. And I just want to open this up to the whole room. What's something bugging you? What's something bugging you? Is anything bugging anybody right now? Something bugging you. I got a few now. Here we go. Okay, consistency. Give me some details. What about consistency? What do you mean? Consistency. What's bugging you about consistency? It takes 21 days for a habit. Get to it, then start doing something else. Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, you'll do something for maybe a few weeks and then move on instead of actually consistently picking one thing and sticking with Okay. Well, I'm really glad you gave that example. I'm really glad because that actually is two of the things I put on my list. Kind of relate exactly to that. Yeah. So let's do that. Consistency. I have issues with consistency. Whatever. There you go. I will do something for a few weeks and then do something else, and then move on to something else. And I just want to add, or, because this is what I do, or find a million excuses why I can't do it, even though I really wanted to. Even though I really wanted to initially. No, I really want to. I'm mostly speaking about the gym. I've been struggling for weeks now to go to the gym. But when the day's over, I'm exhausted. I just want to go home, have a drink, and make some dinner and go to sleep. So I've been really getting on myself about the gym. So yeah, even though I really wanted to. When the day is over, I just want to go home and sleep. Okay, here we go. Why do you do it? This issues with consistency. Why do you do it? What do you get out of it? Let's just start there. Why do you do it? What do you get out of it? That's a real honest question to ask. Kind of waiting for your answer so that way I don't have to sit with my own. Oh man. Why do you do it? What do you get out of it? Why do you do it? What do you get out of it? Well, if I complain about going, at least I'm doing something. Because I feel like if I didn't complain, I just would completely forget about it because I'm so busy. Okay, I can add it. Instead of totally nothing. And give me some else. Give me some more stuff. Give me some more stuff. What do you get out of it? What do you get out of it? Why do you do it? What do you get out of it? What do you get out of it? What do you do it? What do you get out of it? What do you get out of it? If you wanted to look a certain way, you want to look a certain, you want to, you wanted to look a certain way, like an exercise. So just to be clear, because I think that's right. I'm hearing you. So I think that you're answering the question. Why do you try to be consistent with? Why do you try to be consistent? You're answering the question. Why do you try to be consistent? And the question is, why do you struggle with consistency? What do you get out of that? What do you get out of struggling with it? It's not because that's not even about the workout at this point. Yeah. So why do you struggle with it? What do you get out of that? What do you get out of that? Yeah, so just breathe into that for a second. What do you get out of that? What do you get out of that? Well, I mean, just being really honest. Yeah, you gotta sit with it. Yeah, I'm having a hard time too. Yeah. You gotta breathe into it. Breathe into it. Slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down. Maybe touch yourself a little bit, rub yourself, just calm yourself down. An image shows up in your mind of maybe you working out for a bit and then you not going, or this image in my mind of 5 o'clock when I could go from my office to the gym, and I think about it for a few minutes and then I hit the gas pedal and go straight back to my apartment. So I'm just seeing that image in my mind. What do I get out of it? What do I get out of it? one thing I feel like I get out of it is a sort of like, I don't have to be perfect. I feel like I'm trying so hard to do all these things, to be like excelling in everything I do in life. I'm trying so hard to do that. But it's like, and were I able to get to the gym and do it, I'd be trying to do that also. But it's like I don't. It's like I'm giving myself permission to wrestle with it. I don't have words for this. But like, wrestling with it like this and just going home feels like something. Let me stop. Let me just breathe. What do you get out of it? Not being consistent. What do you get out of it? Well, yeah. Well, what comes up for me is I don't really have to like do the hard work. I mean, I get to, I don't have to confront the really hard stuff that would come from having to consistently do it every single day. I just don't. I just feel like there's more of a humanness there. It's more of I'm allowing myself to acknowledge my humanness. Oh, there you go. Acceptance of who I am, where I am. Yeah, there you go. That's right. Okay, now here we go. Play the why would it be so bad game. If the negative thing or worst case or opposite of what you wanted happened, why would it be so bad? Keep digging down about 1 to 3 more times. What is the core belief you have here? Okay, so I complain because at least that's doing something instead of totally nothing. Accepting who I am, where I am. Accepting who I am and where I am. Okay, this is going to be real interesting. Okay, well, why would it be so bad? Why would it be so bad if you did totally nothing? Why would it be so bad if you didn't accept who you were or where you are? Why would that be so bad if you did totally nothing and didn't accept yourself? Why would that be so bad? Why would that? I don't know, but shit. Do I need to know? I don't know. So let's see. Why would that be so bad? Why would that be so bad if I did totally nothing? Why would that be so bad if I didn't accept where I was? Why would that be so bad? Whew, that's touching on something hard. I don't know, but why would that be so bad if I did? Well, if I did totally nothing, my body would fall apart and I'd be depressed. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good. There we go. Thank you for that honesty. Yeah, my body would fall apart and I would not get anywhere and feel depressed. Thank you for that. Okay. My body would fall apart and I would not get anywhere and feel depressed. Why would that be so bad? Why would that be so bad? Why would it be so bad if your body fell apart and you got depressed? Why would that be so bad? My answer to that is because that's literally the last thing I want. That's like literally why would that be so bad? Well, because I would feel like my life was over. What about you? Why would that be so bad? My body fell apart I didn't get anywhere and felt depressed. Why would that be so bad? I'm gonna stick with my answer. Yeah, yeah. It caused health issues. Okay. I would can cause health issues. Yes. Yes. Okay. Or have major health issues. Yeah. You know, just to be fair, can cause health issues kind of implies I gave myself health issues. You know, so there's also something of a I did it to me in there. Is that in there? Is that in there or no? I just want to know, should I add that into this? You know, because just can cause health issues sounds like anybody can do it. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah. I give myself major health issues. Okay. Core belief here is oh, I gotta breathe. I struggle with consistency because if I don't stay consistent, I'll feel like my life is over and give myself major health issues. Okay, that sounds about right. I believe that anyway. I believe that. I struggle with consistency. Because if I don't stay consistent, I start to feel like my life is over. And get major health issues. Okay. Well, let's keep going. So what's the story or supporting ideas behind this belief? Why do you have it? Okay, so tell me your story. What's your story behind these beliefs? What's your story here? What's this consistency story? What's my consistency story? Okay, well, the first thing that comes up is my mother was uber into working out with videos. She made me, she didn't make me. Let's say I had to do them alongside with her, and she never I had to do them alongside with her just to get her attention and spend time with her. She never slowed down the video or found kid appropriate material for me. My whole life, I felt like I had to work hard to feel good enough. I had to kill myself to get great grades, win trophies, even though I felt like total crap on the inside. This made me very consistent because I had a goal, or well, I wanted love. But I can see how this also made me hella irritated that I had to go through all this just to get the people I love to spend time with me. Whew. Whew. That was some truth. You know what? I'm going to give you a moment to let you tell me your story, and I'm just going to take one little quick walk. I'm going to take a little quick walk around. Just around the block for 1 second, just to let this energy process through. Woo! Okay. Okay. See, sometimes you just need a little walk. Just moving that energy around. This did touch on some sensitive stuff. This touches on some sensitive stuff. You know, I look back on my childhood, and frankly, nobody, no kid should ever feel like they have to fight, win to feel loved. No kid should ever feel like I got to make this A or I'm not going to be loved. No child should ever feel that way. That's ridiculous. But you better believe I felt that way a lot. And it wasn't like verbally said, you know, hey, you better get that A or I don't love you anymore. It wasn't, that was never said. It was never said. and also I lived in a world where, when I got the A's, it was, oh, he's good. Oh, okay, well, we'll spend the money and go do this for him. Oh, okay, he's got this. He's going to be somebody important one day. Oh. But when it was me in my everyday world, nobody cared. When I mean, the funny thing is, even when it was some really awesome stuff, I learned how to do. I have all these early memories. I learned how to do cursive at a really early age. My mom deliberately stopped teaching me. I remember that. I remember I got into writing short stories, and no one cared. Poetry, no one cared. I got into puzzles. Like by the time I was, 6, 7, I would I did all these 1,000-piece puzzles by myself. And actually she did glue them, put them up on the wall. She put a couple of them up on the wall. Actually, okay, so she cared about that. Okay, that was something. Okay, that's something. Okay, I got a puzzle. I got that. But then that's what it took for me to feel like I was loved. Okay, it took that. Although when I wrote those short stories, when I did the poetry, no one cared about that at all. And then at when I was 13, I got into classical music. Everybody thought it was a joke. I wanted a piano. I wanted a violin. I really got into Mozart. I wanted a violin. Everyone thought it was a joke. I was so pissed off. The next year, I got into chorus. I saw a baby grand piano for the first time, and I was like, I'm learning how to do this no matter what. I skipped PE, I skipped lunch, and I taught myself how to play the piano. It took 2 years, and constantly doing it, and I taught myself how to play the piano. And then, the rest is history. I got a music scholarship and went to college and everything else. So there's a lot of pain there, but also a lot of growth. An incredible kind of growth came out of that too. Yeah. Again, though, I want to reiterate: no child should have to learn how to teach themselves how to play the piano to feel love. Okay, no child, no child. The bar is too high. Thanks for sharing. Think mine are a little about generation curse feeling, like I'm undeserving and can't have what I want sometimes. It's easier to see and me and not have something. I also take responsibility as well, always putting things off, would always ask for things, wouldn't get it. Always ask for things, wouldn't get it. You know what? Let's do this. All right, your story too. Let's do this. I had a generation curse, feeling undeserved, undeserved. Can't have. Now, I'm just a little confused when you wrote, sometimes it's easier to see and me not have something. Tell me what you mean when you wrote, sometimes it's easier to see and me not have something. Well, what exactly do you mean there? Or is it that you mean it's easier to see things and just tell yourself you're never going to get it because you're undeserving? You can't have it anyway? Yeah, really sorry you had to go through that yet. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Okay, so just tell me how you feel about some of that, okay? I also take responsibility as well. Always putting things off, would always ask for things, wouldn't get it. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You know, always ask things and wouldn't do DM. Wouldn't do it. Sometimes it's easier for me to not want. Sometimes for my life, so used to not getting what I want or ask. It's just easier to just not want at all. Okay. Sometimes it's easier to just not want things. Okay, here we go. Take the story and simplify it by writing it out into basic associations. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. I have mother equals big. Let's see. Mother equals big Uber into working out videos, or Uber into working out with videos. I'm trying to summarize things a little bit, but often I have to tell you, your own actual words are always the best thing for these exercises. Just things will come up that wouldn't come up otherwise. So, okay. Mother equals had to do them alongside her just to get her attention and spend time. Mother equals never slowed down the video or found kid appropriate material for me. Okay, got that. And I'm seeing work equals gotta go hard to feel good enough. Work equals kill myself to get grades. Kill myself to win, even though I felt like total crap on the outside. I mean, on the inside. I was thinking crap on the outside. Where else does crap go? Okay, anyway. This made me very consistent because I had to go, I wanted love, but I can see how this also made me hella irritated. I had to go through, okay, well, me equals, or actually consistent equals had a goal, wanted love, but made me hella irritated to go through all that just to get love. Just to get people, oh boy, to spend time with me. Okay, let's do another one here. I'm always asking for things and wouldn't get it. Sometimes it's easier to just not want things. So wanting equals can't have, actually it's equals generational curse. You could tell this is something important because my ability to kind of like just sit still and process. I'm feeling a little shaky right now. Okay. Wanting equals generational curse of feeling undeserved. Wanting equals can't have. Wanting equals always asking and wouldn't get it. And wanting equals easier just not to want. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Normally these things kind of are usually a little simpler, or the lot came out there in weird ways. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take all these things we made and we're going to flip the associations into opposites. So, to make this easy on ourselves, I think this was the hardest class for me to sit through. Hey, that's good. That's how classes work, right? They get harder and harder. This is actually the second to last class of the whole 3-part series. So at this point, you know, if you took everyone from the beginning onwards, you should be a pro. So you can. It's hard to sit through. It's hard to sit through, and in the time we've spent together, Antoinette, I got to tell you, you got this. You got this. You got this. Now, this is hard for me, so you're not alone, and you're not alone. You're not alone, and just, you know, I just want to take a moment and just say thank you so much for your ability to tough it out through so much. You sat through so much. We've done so much learning together, so much learning together. So I'm really honored to do this specific issue. I'm really honored to do this specific issue with you. So I want you to know that. I want you to know that. Okay, your being here makes me feel comfortable enough for me to dig this deep. Okay. Okay. Okay, but I will say this, because I did get up and take a little walk. So feel free to do what you need, okay? It's our feelings here. We don't need to push ourselves. We're here to re-trigger ourselves. We're here to bring peace and understanding and comfort and soothing to these parts of us that are bothered, irritated, right? So if you need a stuffed animal, or you need a hit on the vape, or, you know, whatever you need. Hey, I should tell you all, I bought this back massager, and the other thing I bought was a weighted neck pillow. It's a 10-pound weighted neck pillow, so that way I can put it around my neck and it'll keep my shoulders down. But also, it's warmable, so I can stick it in the microwave. So I'm going to put it in the microwave, so that way I can put it around my neck. And it'll help keep me nice and warm and give me a safe feeling. Okay. Good. I feel so better just knowing that's coming. I feel so better already. Okay. Okay, so whatever you need for your feelings, self-care. It's all about the self-care, constant, ongoing self-care, self-care, self-care. This is bringing up something for me, so it's what do I do to practice good self-care right now? Breathe, pause, notice my feelings, move the energy around, whatever it is you need, whatever it is you need. My mind is also thinking there's a little bottle of champagne in my refrigerator. I could, if I need to crack that open, I know that's there. I don't need it right this second, but I know it's there, and I appreciate that I bought it. That's for sure. Okay. I want to take that walk. I could do some stretches, you know. Okay. Talk it out. I can talk it out like I'm doing right now. It helps a lot. Helps a lot. Okay. Helps a lot. Helps a lot. I like to just tap my fingers, slow it down. Okay. Okay. Rub my face. Okay. So let's split these into opposites. So the first one, mother equals. Let's see. Uber into working out with video. What would the what would the opposite of that be? Uber into working out with video. Hella. Well, let's see. Let me see. What opposite? And you always want to pick the opposite that really works for you, right? So honor your feelings here. Uber into working out with videos. What would the opposite of that be? Lounged around and did nothing. Lounged around and did nothing. Sometimes. Okay. Had to do them alongside her just to get her attention. Spend time. Had to do them. Didn't have to do them independently for just to get attention. Just to get attention. Just to get attention. Just to get attention. Just to, what's the opposite of that? Just to get attention. So I wouldn't, for no attention or time. Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay, never slowed down the video or found kid-appropriate material for me. The opposite of that would be always sped up the video or found, well, always sped up the video or found adult appropriate material for her. Okay. Let's keep going. Work equals gotta go hard to feel good enough. Okay, so opposite of that, gotta go soft to feel bad enough. Okay. Try not to think too hard here. The opposites. Kill myself to win, even though I felt like total crap on the inside. What is the opposite of that? What's the opposite of kill myself? Heal myself to lose, even though I felt like total. What's the opposite of crap? Total goodness on the outside. Okay. Consistent equals, oh, this is going to be a fun worksheet. Consistent equals had a goal. Okay, opposite of had a goal, no goal. Wanted love, the opposite of wanting love, giving love. But made me hella irritated to go through all that just to get people to spend time with me. Okay, hella irritated to go through all that. The opposite of that would be hella pleased to go through none of that to get people who spend time, to avoid. You get people to avoid me. Okay. Actually, I put spend time up here too. Let's put avoid there and avoid. Get her attention and spend time with her to just to get no attention. Get no attention and avoid her. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, one more brave people digging into all this. One more. This one's complicated. Wanting equals Generational curse of feeling undeserved. So now what's the opposite of that? Generational curse of feeling undeserved. What the opposite of that be? Maybe individual blessing of feeling undeserved. What's the opposite of undeserved? Deserving. Can have. Always asking and wouldn't get it. Asked a little and always got it. Easier just not to want. Harder just always wanting. Whew, Lord. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's meditation time. Just take a moment, take some deep breaths. Maybe move your eyes side to side a little bit. Go into your inner universe. And ask yourself, how is it true in this situation? How is it true that mother equals lounged and did nothing sometimes? How does mother equal didn't have to do them independently for no attention or time? Didn't have to do them independently. How does mother equal always sped up the video or found adult appropriate material for her? Okay, how is that true? So the idea here is you just sit with what comes up for you here. It's a meditation. So it's a sinking in and a bubbling up. How is that true for you? I can tell you what's true for me. Well, first of all, what's true for me is always sped up the video or found adult appropriate material for her. That is true. My mom, this memory came back yesterday, which is why I'm so glad we're talking about this. My mom was really into all those 80s workout videos, the Jane Fonda, all the workout videos in the 80s, And I remember doing them. My mom was really okay. She was okay with me doing them. The expectation was I had to keep up. So, I would do it for a while, but I was 7, 7-year-olds shouldn't be doing an adult workout video, so I would do it and I get tired pretty quickly. And then she would just be like, well, come on, you got to keep up. I'm doing it. Well, just go. Hey, well, maybe just got to move somewhere else. I'm working here. All the time she did that. I just remember having little moments of like, well, geez, all I wanted to do was kind of, have a little fun, And but no, it was never fun. It was always like, oh, we gotta work out. We gotta get through the whole series. We gotta get through it. We gotta get through this whole half hour, So she definitely, especially for my kid mind, always sped up the video. She never picked the video right for me. She always just focused on herself. This is also a part of another realization I had about a few months ago where I realized my mother never played with me as a child, like ever. Like I have no memories, like not one. To be fair, she did, cook three, sometimes 4 meals a day, and she cooked and cleaned nonstop, and she read to us every night. And I have no memories of my mother playing with me. None. So that's another one I've been kind of sitting with here. So just taking that in, okay. And so the little time I did spend with her was those little workout things. Okay. But anyway, so always sped up the video and found adult appropriate material for her. Yes. How does mother equal lounge and did nothing sometimes? Well, my mom didn't work out all the time. It was just a half hour, right? An hour workout in the beginning of the day. She did other things. throughout the day. And there was always nighttime. She had a glass of wine and watched. She really liked watching old country westerns. That was her thing. She really liked watching those old country westerns. So, on Nick at Night. So, okay, so she lounged and did nothing sometimes, clipped coupons, that's kind of a do nothing activity, but it's still something, but nothing, I get it. Sipping wine, watching TV. Okay, and then how does mother equal didn't have to do them independently for no attention or time? I don't know. That one I don't know. That one I don't know. I don't know. I definitely did it for attention. Well, no, I didn't have to do it for attention. Had I actually just gone ahead and stayed by myself and just worked out and I didn't care about getting attention from her, I would have probably had a nice workout for me. I would have worked out to whatever degree I wanted to do, the fun things I wanted to do. I got to sit with this for a second. The whole reason I wanted to work out with her was not because I wanted to work out. I wanted to work out with her because I wanted attention. I wanted attention. I wanted attention. I wanted attention. I wanted approval, attention. I wanted that. I wanted that. I felt hella deprived of attention. So I thought I'd get attention. I didn't care about working out, although I did on a logical level see the importance of having a healthy body. And I was glad it was really important to her clearly. And I could, logically could see why it would be important. I also have to say on an emotional level, as an emotional human being, I wanted attention. I wanted attention and I didn't get it. My little kid self wanted attention. I just wanted I wanted my mommy to just say, okay, how about we find something fun you and me can do together? How about, oh, look, I'll slow it down and we'll just play this part here, okay? Or, find some fun activity that, you know what, this is really hard. This is more of an adult activity, but you and me can go and do something else later, okay? Something like that. Not a single one of those things ever happened. Ever happened. Okay, so just sit with that. Let's keep going. Work. How at work equal, how is it true that work equals gotta go soft to feel bad enough? I'm not so sure yet. Okay, how does work equal heal myself to lose, even though I felt like total goodness on the outside? Heal myself to lose, even though I felt like total goodness on the outside. How does work equal gotta go soft to feel bad enough? How does work equal heal myself to lose, even though I felt like total goodness on the outside? Okay, now I'm a little puzzled, so just breathe. Breathe into it. This is going places we don't know, so just breathe. This is going places our mind wouldn't normally go, right? Shaking up all those old thought feeling patterns, right? So we're just gonna breathe. How is this true in any way? What comes up so far? How is this true in any way? Gotta go soft to feel bad enough. Okay, one thing that comes up for me is, my mind is scanning back to me being a little kid, watching my mother work out, wanting to participate. And what comes up for me is, I deliberately said, I'm going to get out of my room. I could have gone and worked out by myself easily. I deliberately said, I'm going to go over and get into what she's doing so I can use this as an opportunity to, maybe she'll spend time with me. And, I didn't consciously say those words at 6, but that's what I was doing. That's totally what I did. And so I almost feel like I was deliberately putting myself into a situation where I would get disappointed. I hate to say this about my own mother, but that is the truth of it. I felt like I was putting myself into a situation where I was like setting myself up to be disappointed. I know what her personality's like. I mean, I watched it every day, right? I knew I was going for something that would be a risk. I definitely knew that. And then I guess I thought, but hey, I'll just do a little working out and it'll be fine. I'll get that approval. I definitely, as a little kid, thought that. I definitely, as a little kid, thought that. And then it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. I kept having to sort of sell myself out to try to get her to pay attention to me. Or in other words, I had to go soft to feel bad enough. Gotta go soft to feel bad enough. I could have easily at any point eventually I did. I was just like, okay, this sucks. I'm tired of this. I'm not getting the workout I want. I'm not enjoying the interaction I'm spending with her. You know what? Screw this. You can just go do it by yourself then. And then I went to go do other things. Kind of gave up on working out altogether for a while there too. Okay, so yeah, there's something of a selling myself out there. It's not easy to admit, but there's something of that there. Gotta go soft to feel bad enough. Gotta go soft to feel bad enough. Heal myself to lose, even though I felt like total goodness on the outside. Well, heal myself to lose, even though I felt like total goodness. I can hear that. I can hear that. I can hear that. Because if I think I have to work at getting love, then anything I'm doing is actually losing. If I think I have to work to earn love, then anything I'm doing is losing. Because all I'm doing is proving to myself that I'm not good enough. Right? I am automatically total goodness on the inside or the outside. Every human being comes into this world as total goodness. The thoughts, the society that taught you that anything other than that is not good enough, and you need to work to get someone else's approval. If you have to work to feel good enough, you're already bad enough. You're already not good enough right there. No one has to work to feel love. No one has to work to feel love. Love is just what is. When we accept everything for what it is, universal love, unconditional love, that is unconditional love. We're also used to conditions, right? I put a condition on her that she needed to, make these videos right for me, for us to get along. I wanted her attention. The condition she put on me all the time was more or less, stay out of my way. I'm doing my thing. I'm so busy. That was the condition. Developmentally for a child, that's not really healthy. That's another word for that is neglect. We could say that today, right? I think we could say that in 1980 also, but in her world, that word didn't exist. Okay? No one should have to work to feel love ever. Ever, not once, ever. To whatever degree you feel like you gotta work to feel good enough to feel love, that shows you the degree to which we have all lost course, and we need to turn around and rethink everything. You ever have to earn love ever. Ever, never. Love is not work. So loving yourself ain't work. Loving yourself ain't work. 100%. Yeah. 100% facts. 100% facts. Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. No work. No work. No effort. Like literally, I'm breathing. I'm good enough. The heart is beating. I'm good enough. I have a feeling. I'm good enough. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm alive. I'm good enough. Yeah. 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 Done. Done. End story. I'm alive. I'm good enough. Okay. Okay. How does consistent, let's keep going. How does consistent equal no goal? How does, interesting. How does consistent equal giving love? How does consistent equal hella please to go through none of that to get people to avoid me? I don't know. I don't know. This has been such a weird, what an interesting example we've been doing here. How does consistent equal no goal? How does consistent equal giving love? How does consistent equal hella please to go through none of that to get people to avoid me? Let's see. Well, I definitely could say consistent equals giving love. I like that one. I really like that one. I would agree with that one for sure. The best way to give love would be consistent, like care, right? Or even honestly, I mean, even consistent arguing is a sign that someone cares, loves you, right? Just the consistency generally is a sign of love. Consistency is a sign of love. Yeah. So that I definitely can see. That I can definitely see. I guess I could also say loving someone often doesn't come with a goal. Well, unconditional love doesn't come with a goal. You know, the goal is itself, right? Just to be loving, right? Conditional love comes with the goal. Conditional love, that is the definition of conditional love. It comes with the goal. Love with the goal. So love with the let's sit with this. Let's sit with this. Love with the goal, conditional love, leads to inconsistency. Because the moment you get what you want, you're good. But then when you don't get it, you'll get frustrated. Because it's all about really getting what you want from something else. So conditional love leads to inconsistency. Unconditional love, just doing something purely for the love of it, no goal, might lead to a lot more consistency. Because you'd just be doing it out of pure enjoyment. Pure enjoyment. You'd be doing it out of pure enjoyment. Putting a goal to it in its own way sort of turns it sort of turns you into an object. Like it's like using you to get to the goal, right? But if you do it in an unconditional loving way, you just be just doing it out of pure just joy. No goal. then maybe you'd be a lot more. Maybe we'd be a lot more consistent. Maybe I'd be at the gym regularly. I mean, for one, who doesn't want more unconditional love in their lives? So that alone could lead to all sorts of nice changes, healthy changes in your life, right? So that's something to sit with, right? Having a goal can be very limiting. Having no goal can be very opening. There's more potential there. No goal. No goal. No goal. So I could go into any space in my life and look at the goals I've set. The goals I have about my body. The goals I have. I mean, I'm saying goal, but I guess I could also say expectation. Okay, so the goal, expectation I have about my body. The goals and expectation I have about my career. About relationships. In all those spaces, I could look at where I am being conditionally loving instead of unconditionally loving. I could go into all those spaces and look at the ways, what I could do to be more unconditionally loving. Yes, I could. Yes, I could. Okay. That's useful. Oof. Okay. And then, how is it true that consistent equals hella pleased to go through none of that to get people to avoid me? How is that true? I feel like the only way that's true is the unconditional love thing again. And that seems to be the main theme in a lot of this, by the way, the unconditional love thing. I don't know if you noticed that, but I'm really getting that. I'm really getting that here. Okay. Okay. So, well, if I was unconditionally loving, then, and I consistently applied that into my life, I think I'd be pleased to go through anything. A person who's unconditionally loving can handle all sorts of things, right? You might just be happy, a lot happier in life altogether. And people can either avoid you or be close or avoid you, and who would care? Because unconditionally, Jesus Christ didn't seem to care all too much, right? Unconditionally loving. Okay, you might be hella pleased on that one. Jesus Christ seemed hella pleased most of the time, right? I'd say. Okay, so except for the very end there, actually, aside from that moment at the very end, he was actually pretty pleased for most of it, right? So there you go. Okay, and then how is it true that wanting equals individual blessing of feeling deserving? How does wanting equal can have? How does wanting equal asked a little and always got it? And how does wanting equal harder, just always wanting? Okay, I think this is good. Oh, this is good. Okay, so how does wanting equal individual blessing of feeling deserved? Well, hell, if you really sit with it, every want is like a little prayer. Every want is an individual blessing of feeling deserved, right? You're asking the universe, which is everything, right? The planets, solar system, the big and the small, the bacteria to the solar system, right? You're asking the whole universe, can you please just bring me, whatever it is, right? A nice day, a boyfriend, some Taco Bell, whatever it is, right? Can you just bring me that thing I want, right? It's an individual blessing of feeling deserved. I've never heard of a definition of wanting That's the best definition of wanting I've ever heard. Wanting equals can have. Yeah, boom. Yes, it does. That's exactly it. Right? You're asking the universe to please make this, available to me. Higher power out there, God, Buddha, higher consciousness. There's so much going on. Can you just honor me this one little thing? This one little thing. That is wanting. Individual blessing of feeling deserved. Okay. Ask the little and always got it. Ask the little and always got it. Ask the little and always got it. So I'm just going to say this. In my experience, the universe always gives us what we want. It just don't come the way we wanted it, have the effect we wanted it to have, or it comes with all sorts of unintended consequences. Okay, so growing up, I also asked for things and got told no all the time. Asked for things and got told no all the time. So, so the turnaround to that would be, didn't ask for things and got told yes all the time. And how would that be true? How would that be true is I think about how much resentment I held on to when I got told no. So much resentment that often I didn't bother asking again. Or eventually I got tired of asking altogether. I just kind of shut down and just gave up. And that wasn't really about my parents. To me, partly. Part of it was I had a lot going on, and I really wanted the support. So once they said no a few times, I felt like, well, support ain't coming from here. So just shut down. I went into just shutdown mode. Shutdown mode. When I was in shutdown mode, I definitely would have to say, I asked a little, very little, crumbs. And that's what I got, crumbs. I got crumbs. A lot of resentment, and the crumbs I asked for, I got crumbs. I could have asked for more, but I was so bitter, I didn't want to anymore. So I feel like there's a lesson there. There's a lesson there about, what really made me bitter there, Was it the fact that I didn't get it? I wanted the support, but I judged them so harshly as being unsupportive that I became unsupportive to me. I made myself a very unsupportive place by being so irritated and resentful. I made myself a very unsupportive place by being so resentful. I asked a little of myself, just very little of myself. And that's what I got. A very unsupportive inner place. Okay. So harder, just always wanting. Yeah. Because the wanting was tied to so much around support, self-esteem. I tied so much into the wanting that, a no didn't mean no, you can't go on the trip. A no meant no, you're not worth it. A no meant no, you're not worth it. A no meant no, you don't have any value here. A no meant all that. A no meant all that. A no meant all that. And they didn't mean that. And I think after, years into it, I think it clicked for my parents that they realized all the no's equal to we don't really feel like investing in you as a person. And they realized that, and the way they rectified that was, when I was about 16, they started, things came up for college, and then they agreed to pay for those things, even though they really didn't want to. And they initially said no to several of them. And then I recall one day I just rolled my eyes and got so depressed. And then they must have had a conversation after that. Because after that, I recall my father got asked for something and he immediately said no. And then he suddenly went, but I think maybe we can come up with the money. And I was like, what? oh, and I remember I didn't make any faces because I was so shocked. And then I was just certain. I was just, I was just certain. The moment we walked out of the room, he'd say no anyway. I was just certain he was just gonna like, oh, let me down. I was just certain he was gonna let me down. And then I even remember maybe like 6 months into it, he realized the service he had paid for wasn't really helping. And he had this big thing about, oh, well, I see, I wasted my money on this. I should have never bothered with this stuff. And then I was like, there we go. There we go. There we go. And he was right. It wasn't helping. But, it seemed to me like the solution to that was, okay, well, let's see what service does work so my kid can get into a really good college. That was not the thinking they had. The thinking they had was they just paid for it for a few more months and then they canceled it anyway. When I said it wasn't helping, they paid for like one more month and then they just canceled it. We didn't have another conversation about where I should go to college. My mom worked at the local university, so she just said, hey, you'll go to college here. You can make money, considering the way it's set up in the tuition reimbursement program for staff. You can make money actually going to school here. Okay. And then my band teacher, who interestingly enough confided in me that he was bisexual one day, which I thought was kind of awesome. He said, you're really talented at playing music, so why don't we get you a music scholarship and see if you can get into a private school in New Orleans? So he did that. Had it not been for him bringing that up, I never would have even applied. And that's what got me to college. I applied to one other school, which was in Boston, a Berklee School of Music, this really top-notch music school in Boston. And I didn't get in. And I only applied to that school because that seemed like the best of the best to enter into, because I had to prove I was good enough. And then I didn't get in. But I got into Loyola, so I was pretty upset about that at the time, I remember. But Loyola turned out to be an okay place. I figured I could do well there. So I was bugged by the Christian stuff, but I got over it. So anyway, and actually, Jesuits are wonderful. They're really good about education, and because of my Jesuit education is how I learned how to become a Buddhist. They had Buddhist classes at my university, and I learned a lot about how to blend Buddhism and Christianity, which is why I wrote this thing I wrote here. Well, it's nice to get older and see the larger picture I'm painting here. It's nice to get older and see the larger picture. Just gonna sit with all that for a second. I was mad at them for so long for not giving me the support I wanted. So every little decision turned into they say no, it means I'm worthless. What's the point of asking anymore? I get a thought I want to have something. Oh, I gotta ask them. Oh, forget it. Forget it. Well, I'm worthless anyway, so why even bother? I won't even bother having this anymore. It's easier to just not want it. But you know what? That's wrong. That's wrong. I get the right to want whatever I wanted. I got the right to want every single solitary thing my little kid self wanted. And I get the right to not have my wanting tied to my feelings of my self-esteem. Right? Well, for one, they said no all the time because their parents said no. So their parents chopped down their self-esteem with money. I mean, today we could call that financial abuse. Constantly telling a kid no, just constantly telling a kid no. And telling a kid no without a real kid understanding about kid appropriate understanding about why they can't have it. Just saying no all the time without any explanation at all. Making a child feel guilty for asking for things. Making a child feel guilty. an adult who might choose to make a child feel guilty for wanting things because it saves them money. That kind of maybe narcissistic selfishness around child financial issues. All of that, we would call that financial abuse today. We could call that financial abuse today. Okay, so that's worth taking in there, right? Okay. Here's the third part of this, the final part of this here. And we're going to go a little over time, so feel free to stay or feel free to go. Either way, I understand. The next part of this is, why is it good? Why is it good? Why is it good that mother equals lounged and did nothing sometimes? Why is that good? Why is it good that mother equals didn't have to do them independently for no attention or time? Why is it good that mother equals always sped up the video or found adult appropriate material for her? Whoa. Why is that good? Why is it good? Why is it good? So when I have a hard time and feelings come up, I always believe in aiming for the simple. Don't get complex. Don't get too deep. Aim for the simple and start there. One rung of the ladder at a time. Okay. Okay. So mother equals always. Why is it good that mother equals always sped up the video or found adult appropriate material for her? Okay. Why is that good? That's good because my mom was listening to what her needs were. My mom wanted to work out. She found those videos. She proved to herself she could keep up with the video. That was more important to her than spending time with me. Straight up. Just straight up. Why? So she did what was right for her. She did what's right for her. Good for her. She taught me at a really she taught me at a really, 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 really early age to focus on my needs. And that's important. That's important. That's in that part of it. That little part of it there is an important message. Why is it good that mother lounged and did nothing sometimes? My mother was a constant, non-stop OCD workaholic. So the fact that she had any time to just sit and do nothing really is a miracle. And as I mentioned it, she didn't do nothing. She was watching TV and clipping coupons and drinking a glass of wine. But that's about the slowest it got to nothing. Okay. So good that she lounged and did nothing sometimes. She needed a break. She really needed a break. She went through a lot as a kid. She needed a break. Okay. Why is it good? Didn't have to do them independently. Let's keep going. Let's just keep going. Why is it good that work equals, the next one, why is it good that work equals gotta go soft to feel bad? Why is it good that work equals heal myself to lose, even though I felt like total goodness on the outside? Why is it good? My brain. Why is it good that work equals gotta go soft to feel bad enough? Well, why is it good? I'll tell you why. Because no one should have to work to feel love. So if I feel myself going soft, that could actually be a sign that I'm doing something wrong. I'm taking in something that isn't right for me. And it sucks that turns out to be my mother. That really sucks. That just, oh my God. It's like it makes me realize my love tank is filled with like toxic gasoline. And I've got to like purge a lot of stuff. And that's what I've been doing all this time. So there you go. It sucks, and I'm still healing. It sucks, and somebody's mother is a serial killer. Somebody's mother is a robber. Somebody's mother is a murderer. Somebody's mother is. So yeah. And so I like to think they can heal too. I like to think that with enough care and love, they can heal too. So there you go. Okay? Why is it good? Why is it good that consistent equals no goal? Why is it good that consistent equals giving love? Why is it good that consistent equals hella pleased to go through none of that to get people to avoid me? How is it good that consistent equals no goal? Well, being unconditionally loving would mean just enjoying life, doing what pleased you, which might lead to more consistency. And that's good. That's good. We get caught up in goals all the time. We're always so caught up in goals. And, goals are about judgment. Goals are about being good enough. Goals are about being good enough. We don't have to worry about that anymore. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You can't work to be good enough. You just are. Boom, done. So no goal. Goal accomplished. You're breathing, goal accomplished. You're living, goal accomplished. If I need to work hard at school to get a degree, sure. That has I need to be good enough at I need to be good enough at calculus. I need to be good enough at psychology in order to earn my psychology degree. Yes. That has nothing to do with me being good enough intrinsically as a human being. No. No. Two totally different things. I may have to be good enough to acquire a body of knowledge. I cannot be good enough to just be me, to get love. No one has to be good enough. There is no good enough. No one has to be good enough. There is no good enough. You just are. Love just is. It's just here. Feeling like I gotta work for it is unloving. So, good, 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 good. That's good. And how is it good that wanting equals individual blessing of feeling deserving? Why is it good that wanting equals can have? Well, that's good. And why is it good that wanting equals asked a little and always got it? Wanting should be easy. That's why. That's good. Yeah. I mean, wanting just a simple desire. And it's the universe saying, yes, you, that little special space right there in the universe. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Here you go. Right? Right? And the whole idea is, you know, it's really the higher power making it clear you don't have to want. You just are. You just are. Just are. Just are. Just being here is the individual blessing of feeling deserved. You get to feel that way for just being here. The universe wanted you. And how do we know that's true? Boom. You're here. Right here, right now. This here now. The universe, God picked you. God wanted you. God wanted me. Even if my mother didn't want me, God wanted me. That's clear. That's crystal clear. Man, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Okay. My father may not want me, but my heavenly father absolutely does. My holy mother, my mother may not want me, but the heavenly mother absolutely does. Okay. Mm, mm. Family. We always have family. Family right there, right here, right here, right here, right here. Family. Thanksgiving. Giving thanks for our true family. Our true family. A family we all belong to. The family of higher consciousness. Hmm. Hmm. The family Jesus was trying to build, right? The family Jesus, Buddha, all these people are trying to build. Wow, 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 wow. That's wow. Okay, let's just let that marinate. Read the rest of this worksheet here. Finally, ask yourself, when did this behavior begin? Does it connect to your childhood or relationship with your primary caregivers? Is there anything you believed then that isn't serving you now? Is the story and supporting ideas still true? Take your core belief, flip it around, and find supporting ideas. When you are ready, you can tackle those other beliefs too. Okay, so now we did a lot of digging into that while we were talking. But just know for your other worksheets in life, yeah, you can answer these questions. And that'll just bring more stuff up. It'll just bring more stuff up. Hey, case in point, if we go back through these things, number 3 was, I would feel like my life was over, or I would give myself major health issues if I wasn't consistent. Right? That was it, right? Is that true? Is that true? No. My life will definitely not be over if I'm not consistent. No. I can be inconsistent and my life's still going, totally still going on. Okay, so no, that's not true. I will give myself major health issues if I'm inconsistent. Is that true? I will give myself major health issues if I'm inconsistent. Is that true? Boy, I still really want to say yes to that. Can I absolutely know that's true? Now, can I absolutely know that's true? No. Because first of all, I may inconsistently go to the gym, but consistently beat myself up, and that would give me major health issues. You know, in fact, to be honest with you, I could consistently go to the gym and still consistently beat myself up, and that would give me major health issues because beating myself up is unhealthy. That's what I'm learning here. Okay, so no, that's not true. It's how I treat myself that might determine those health issues, not just the consistency. Okay. In fact, okay, let's turn this statement around. I would feel like my life is over. I would give myself major health issues. I would feel like my life was beginning. I would feel like my life was beginning. I would give myself major health benefits. I would give myself major health benefits. I'd stop beating myself up. I'd give myself unconditional love would let me feel like my life was just beginning. Unconditional love would let me feel like my life was just beginning. I could give myself complete unconditional acceptance, radical acceptance, unconditional love. And life's always just beginning. Today is just, this moment is just the beginning. Mm, mm, mm. I so feel that. I so feel that. This moment's always the beginning of something. I don't know how my 40s are going to work out, but this moment's the beginning of it, that's for sure. There was a day when I was 29, a few months away from turning 30, and I now know I could have written a book called My 30s. Oh, I'm sorry, it's called Sex and the City. anyway, Sex and the City. So yeah. My 30s, right? My 30s. So there you go. I could have written a book. It would be right there. So there's a future book. For all I know, a future book that could be right in my hand. Right, this could be the beginning. This is the beginning. All right? This moment's always a beginning if you want to see it that way. Same with consistency. I mean, consistency just means I started at this moment and kept doing it. So even if you've been inconsistent your whole life, there's still this moment. 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 Yeah. Infinite chances. Unconditional love. Unconditional love from the universe. So it really just shows you inconsistent, consistent, it's just judgment. Without being able to call it consistent or inconsistent, it would just be human. You'd just be human. And if you couldn't call it humanness, if you couldn't call it your humanness, it would just be life. And if you couldn't call it life, it would just be okay. Okay, and then finally, I'll just read these real quickly. Here are some common thought distortions that we have. Our brain tends to do these things and trip us up from seeing reality. One is focusing on the negative, just focusing on all the negative stuff and not focusing on anything positive. We also engage in all or nothing thinking, using words like never and always. It's going to be like this forever, right? But is it really going to be like that forever? Well, no, because nothing's like anything forever, right? Nothing's forever. Almost nothing. Okay. Believing that feelings are facts. If you feel it, it's your personal truth, but it don't make it reality, right? I can feel like that neighborhood's dangerous, but that don't mean when I walk through it, something bad's gonna happen, right? I can feel like that neighborhood's safe, but that don't mean when I walk through that I'm gonna be fine, right? Feelings are not facts. Okay, mind reading. We have a strong tendency when we want things to make assumptions about what other people are thinking, right? But we can't know what other people are thinking. We can't read other people's minds. That's why we ask questions. That's why we, take in information and evaluate. That's why we do that, because we can't read people's minds. But we like to think we can. I'm still very guilty of this. We like to think we can. Another one is catastrophizing, thinking in the worst case scenarios, right? My headache is probably a brain tumor. That one bad grade means that's it. I'm a failure forever, right? So notice catastrophizing goes very well with all or nothing thinking, right? Okay. Feeling overly responsible, right? Constantly taking responsibility for things we have actually no control over, right? So, right, as a psychologist, I'm always trying to help people, so I feel like I have to help everyone. I'm so tired because I'm trying to help everyone, but I can't save them all. I don't know what to do. Okay, feeling overly responsible. Waiting for heaven's reward. Waiting for heaven's reward is the assumption that because you put all the work into it, you should get what you wanted, right? I paid for this product. I put the product on layaway. I paid every month. I should get the product I asked for. It should work, right? But in reality, sometimes you buy a product, you paid hard money for it, you take it home and it doesn't work, right? And so that feeling of I should get what I expected, I should get what I put my work into, I should get my reward, that's called waiting for heaven's reward, right? And it's one thing when you talk about a product that way, but we often treat people that way too, right? So we date someone and we don't really like them, but we really wanted the boyfriend. So we'll just put up with them, we'll put up with them and put up with them and put up with them. And then, 6 months into it, you expect them to finally, lead to some important decisions because you've been putting up with them all this time, right? I better get a ring because I've been putting up with this all this time, right? So that's also waiting for heaven's reward, right? Okay, and then the last one is predicting the future, and it's not good, right? Often we engage in assuming we know what the future is, which is kind of like assuming we know what God is thinking, right? And then often assuming the future usually comes with fear, and then or a negative view of what the future would be, right? So like, climate change is the best example of this. At this point, we all think the whole world's going to end from climate change, but we don't know what's going to really happen. We don't know how it's really going to end. We don't know all the details. We don't know all the details. It could be swift. It could be slow. It could be super hot and painful. Maybe only half the earth bakes to death. Maybe the other half doesn't. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know. But if we start thinking about it and planning a future, it leads to a million different negative storylines, a million different negative scenarios in our brain, right? And then our mind has to sit with all those scenarios, and then we live in fear. We just live in fear, right? It can be a perfectly nice day, but now you're living in the fear of so much climate change, a million different negative stories. You live in fear, right? Then the mind lives in fear. Okay. So those are all useful things to look at. I actually have this printed out and on my wall, or used to be on my wall, because this is such a good thing to just check yourself regularly, because you might engage in this kind of thinking so often you don't even realize it, right? So it's just really good, useful to check ourselves. Okay, so I recognize I went about 12 minutes over. That's not so bad though. This is a deep one. This was all about beliefs, all about thoughts and beliefs. We spend a lot of time feeling our feelings, but it's important to look at how we think, because if you just, feel your feelings and then start thinking all the stuff you were thinking before, but not question any of it, you can lead to some, really big pitfalls, like just blaming other people for your feelings. This worksheet allows us to dig real deep into what's coming up for us with our feelings. What are we thinking, and how can we deconstruct it and then use useful elements so we can grow and learn from any experience in life. Okay, taking the bitter lemons of life and turning them into sweet lemonade. Okay, so practice. And with that, I'll say have a good week. Good luck with your thoughts and feelings. Next week, our final week will be on stories. So we'll do the story one next week. Thank you. This was a tough session. It sounds different when you hear someone else say it back to you. Yes, it does. That is the beauty of it. Putting it into words, hearing those words out loud, and hearing them from a different voice gives it a whole different perspective. What a gift. What a gift. Yeah, thank you so much for handling this tough session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the growth. I'm definitely going to go home and sit through this and feel through this in my heart over the next couple of days. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. Okay. So, have a nice week. Have a nice weekend. Good luck with your thoughts and feelings. If you need me for anything, shoot me an email. And otherwise, I'll see you next week. Okay. Take care. Bye. So much goodness. So much goodness.